We're going to look at short division. Now, knowing what we know about the different parts of a division sentence, let's see how we set this up. 373 divided by 7 equals. So we are looking for the quotient, which is the answer. This is the dividend, which means this is my starting point. The dividend goes inside the house. So I'm going to put 373 right there. Now my divisor breaks it up into 7 equal pieces. So it's going to want to see how many times it fits inside the dividend. Now short division isn't complicated. You just have to work things out and carry in the same section. So let's look at each digit. 7 inside of 3 fits how many times? Well, it doesn't. So we put a 0, and we put the 0 on top of what we are working with. So now what do? Well, we know we can't do 7 into 3, so let's go with 7 into 37. How many times does 7 fit inside of 37? Now, if you don't know your times tables, go to your 7 times tables and see what number is closest to 37. If you want to give it a go, pause it now and see what number you come up with. Now going to my times tables, using the divisor as my guide, when I look at it, I find that 7 times 5 equals 35. Now 35 is the closest that I can get to 37. So I don't need the 7 because I've already got that there. Well, the difference between 35 and 37 is 2. So I'm going to need this number. For now, I'm going to take this number, which is the 5, and I'm going to put that on top because I know that 7 fits into 37 5 whole times, because 5 whole times mean that I have 35. Now I carry the 2. I finished with 37, cross it out, and I put the 2 over here. So when I look at the number, I don't look at it as 2, I look at it as 23. 7 into 23, which is what I read that as, is what? Well, if I don't know my times tables, I'm going to look at my 7 times table and see what I can get close to 23. And I'll find that 7 times 3 equals 21. So I'm going to be finished with the 23. I see that I've got 21. I have 2 left over because 21 plus 2 is 23. I don't need the 7. I know that this is the number that I am looking for to put in my quotient because 3 times 7 takes me to 21. So what's left over? Well, 2's left over. So if 2's left over, I put remainder 2 because that tells me that 2 is left over. If anybody asks you to put your remainder as a fraction, then you know that a fraction is saying how many pieces out of a whole. So this is what you're looking at. It will be 2 over 7 if you are going to put the remainder as a fraction. So take a look at what I've done, make sure you understand it, and then try and do it with this one by yourself. I want you to pause it and I want you to work this out on paper. Once you're finished, unpause and take a look at what I've done. So going with the dividend in the house, I'm going to put 1,472 inside the house. The divisor is the 2, which goes outside. Now we're looking for half of this number. So 2 into 1, I can't do that. If it doesn't, you just put a 0. Then you go 2 into 14. What's that? Well, 2 into 14 goes 7 times. Is there anything left over? No. We're finished. Nothing to carry. 2 into 7. How many times does 2 fit into 7? 3 times. With 1 left over, because 3 times 2 is 6. So we're finished with that. We have 1 left over, and we put the leftover over there. So now we look at 2 into 12. How many times is that? Well, that's 6. And there you have it. Hopefully your answer was 736. Now, how do you check to make sure that you're right? Well, you take your quotient and you multiply it by your divisor. So let's try that out and see if we end up with our dividend. Six times 2 is 12. We put the 2, carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1, that's 7. 7 times 2 is 14. And there you have it. That was our original dividend. So you know that you're correct. If you have any questions, take note of it. Let me know on Seesaw. Otherwise, I'll see you in our face-to-face session. Till then, take care.